Okay, thanks everybody for joining us for the Sweet Life Southwest Style. And today we're going to be talking about a meaningful travel adventure to mystical Kanab, Utah, coming up in October of this next fall. And I'm going to go through some slides and tell you a little bit about the trip. Mickey is here with me. I'm not adding her to the spotlight because I'm just wanting the recording, but she'll chime in at times because what these slides are from is that we took basically a family plus Mickey trip to the Southwest to do a pre-trip this last fall. And Mickey fell so in love. She'll talk about it in a minute. She'll talk about how she fell in love with this. So people often ask, what is Kanab? Because they haven't heard of it. But Kanab is a town in Utah, and you can see it's right here on, this is the Arizona border here, and here is Kanab. And a lot of people have heard of St. George, and Zion Park is right near here. And look at all of the national parks up here. And the Grand Canyon is down here to the south. And over here, this little red dot over here to the left is Las Vegas. And the reason that I have that on is because Las Vegas is actually the easiest, closest airport to get there. And so we will, in our travels, I'll talk a little bit more about that. But we will be traveling together from Las Vegas to Kanab and back. So I'll talk a little bit more about that. But I wanted to introduce you to the town of Kanab. So one of the things that Kanab is semi-famous for is look at these red mountains here. So if you ever saw the movie Cars, the kids movie Cars, this the film crew of Cars came in, the artists, and they actually used these red mountains to create the background of that movie Cars. And so it's this quaint little town that's set up against the red rocks, right? And the red sand and the amazing mountains are all around. And these are all areas that are surrounding Kanab. And this is actually the little cute town of Kanab. Let me read you a description I have on my website, right? The town of Kanab is surrounded by a variety of Western geological scenery, ranging from coral pink cliffs and sand dunes, volcanic craters, and lava flows that create deep canyons, majestic mountains and plains. The natural beauty and consistently good weather of Kanab, Utah area has made it a popular place to visit. Kanab is the scenic tourist town with a friendly Western spirit, hosting the Old West quality of life. It is also the inspiration for the scenery in the animation movie Cars. And the best weather in this area is generally in October. But as we know, the weather is varies. But the reason that we call Kanab mystical Kanab is because, well, it's also called the entryway to the national parks. And so it really has, like I showed you on the map, it's surrounded by the various national parks, and yet it's a town of its own. But Mickey fell in love with mystical Kanab, so much so that she's actually going to stay a couple of months this summer before our trip. And then she will be my hostess here at the trip, as well as my husband, who also it comes along to do a lot of the background scenes. So you're going to hear Mickey's voice now, and she's going to share why she finds it mystical.
It was just, it's so, there's so much nature around. And I think there's, geologically, I'm sure that there's this different vibration in the area. It's very calming, a lot to explore. and just, everyone we met was just so super friendly, and they're there for the same reason. They're coming to enjoy nature and hike and do some art sometimes. And and Kanab actually is a fairly small town, and but yet it is so, its location is perfect for getting around to, not just the national parks, but the natural formations around the slot canyons, just hiking the trails, and it is just absolutely magical.
You can imagine that it is a favorite to artists as well. So we will actually be staying in condos for this trip. We'll be sharing them based on people's interests in roommates and numbers and things like that. And this is the resort. So here you can see the hills here. And then I just included a little picture of the interiors. And we will be able to have barbecues there. Right across the street from this is a park that we can have picnics or things like that. So it is going to create a real sense of community for those of us that travel. So we'll have some nice community times together. There is Mickey and I again, and that's my son and his wife. And they will actually be coming along to do some of the concierge tours that we're going to be offering. So we will be providing a certain number of meals. We provide 3 group dinners and then every breakfast. And we will be doing breakfast at the condos. So it'll be a nice casual, weather permitting, either outside around the pool or inside. October can be awesome, but it also snowed. We had awesome weather and we left, and the next day it snowed. So this is our little crew that went, and this is a restaurant that we will be having one of our group dinners. This is in downtown Kanab, and they're actually, for being a little Western town, they have some fine dining and nice wines and things like that around as well. One of the other things that we will be doing is creativity experiences if people want to. My tagline is paint, wander, and wonder. And so just like my husband comes along, he is not a painter, he doesn't paint, but he is a wanderer, and so is Mickey. And so they will lead wandering activities. And we will be sitting down, say, at the base of a hiking trail that just has beautiful scenery. I do guide, I don't teach. I do guide people in how to paint, and people find they're very successful at the techniques that I guide them in. And we also do other graphic type of experiences that are set up for the novice as well as the experienced artist. This was actually a drawing that I did using one of the graphic processes that I actually use in my art therapy practice. It's called neurographics, and we will do some neurographics, but I used it to create a landscape of the Southwest. This is another drawing that I did there in the Southwest. These are sketches and quick. And so I will guide people in how to do these types of things that are interested. Now, one of the other things is that Kanab has the largest no-kill animal sanctuary in the world, as far as I understand. And we do offer a volunteer experience there to go and help out. And it's just such a meaningful thing to do. There's Mickey out there sweeping up cat poop. But there's also opportunity to they put the little cats in little buggies and walk them around and so forth. So we'll be checking with people's interest of what they want to do at the animal sanctuary and help them. I played with the kittens. And so that's another thing that you get to do, is really interact with the little guys, and so many different stories. This cat had such an interesting history, and it had actually had broken both hips had been broken. And so it actually did learn to sit up on these hips as part of its recovery. And so it was very cute little guy there. And then, feeding the animals and everything like that. So, and it's just an amazing facility, and to go see what they do. And they'll do a tour, an orientation for us and so forth. And depending on weather and timing, we're going to be very flexible with timing because of the weather. Even our tour company that we have that will take us on some of our adventures is able to switch things around based on the weather there, which is we will be going to Peekaboo Slot Canyon. And it's actually an easy ride in some Jeeps that'll take us out there. And those that want to stay and paint will stay with me and some other guides to paint. And the ones that want to wander will go out that day and wander with the group of wanderers. And then we also go to Zion. Zion is 45 minutes away. And then also we will be going to, gathering together. Like I said, we can sit out around the pool and various things. This was at a different place that we stayed, but just kind of showing us gathering. We played games there together. So, it's, and as I mentioned, we'll be having dinners together, and I provide one lunch based on our travels around. So it really is an adventure of kind of exploring the environment, exploring the sacredness of the land, and we will be spending a lot of time in the land. We are doing 2 additional trips that will be an extra cost, but they'll be day trips on our days off if people want to go. This is the North Rim of the Grand Canyon, and it's about a 2-hour drive. I'm providing an experience where you don't have to be on the road driving a lot if you don't want to. But if you want to, on 2 of the days off, there is the North Rim of the Grand Canyon, and then there's also Bryce Canyon, and they're both beautiful places to go. My son and his wife, they will be guiding that as well as Mickey, I'm sure, because she doesn't sit still for very long. But we will be arranging for you to have spas, shopping, other experiences there in the Kanab area. I do take really good care of the people that travel with me. I make sure that your needs are met. When we went to Ireland, for example, when I took a group to Ireland, somebody had heard about the Marble Caves. And so I looked into it. I arranged for us to go there. And it was so amazing. And so I don't always know all the amazing places. One of the things I really love to do is make sure that everybody's needs are met and everybody's taken care of. So the reason that we are going there is because my family fell in love with it. And then we took Mickey and a niece of ours, and they fell in love with it. And we would just like to share this environment, this place with you.
I had never been to that area before, and I literally cannot wait to go back because there's so much to see and do, and it can be different every time. Christy mentioned the spirituality of the area. There definitely is really something very sacred about those, that area. There's a rich history of the indigenous people, and we're definitely going to be tapping into that and hearing those stories, hearing from the locals. We have an art, and there's an local art gallery.
Oh,
and
I
we'll be
forgot
doing
that.
a reception there one evening and have local artists come in and talk about their art in the area, and maybe even have a local artist, out with us sometime. That's definitely an option. Yeah, Christy did mention, that she definitely listens to the interest in this trip to Italy. My travel companion, a friend of mine that is, we're going to be sharing a room. and some, which it's always nice to be able to share a room with someone. If you're traveling single, it's always just a little bit more expensive. If you see things in that area that you're interested in, he said we do have some free days. Maybe there's others that are interested in those kinds of things, and it can be arranged. Oh, the other thing, I really enjoyed just walking through the town. There's an amazing rock shop that, that they have all this sandstone and the different things like coasters and lamps and all kinds of things that are made out of that. And then there's this, there's signs throughout the town that talk about the different movie stars, the Westerns in the 50s and 60s, everything from Gunsmoke to a lot of the movies were shot in this area. And so, it's very famous for a lot of the actors that would, frequent the restaurants and be around that area. So they have these signs throughout town that talk about all the local or all the artists or movie stars and actors that were that came to that area. So Kanab definitely is on the map.
So let me go ahead and share my website and just talk to you a little bit about the pricing and so forth. This is where you put down your deposit. This is on my website. And the total price is $2,800. And that's a really good price. I've checked some of the other prices. You're not going to find anything like this for that price. And look at this, the first 6 people to pay in full will get a $500 off. Now you can start with, or you can place a deposit down of $500. So I've just started enrolling this trip. I don't have anyone yet, but we will have 10 to 12 to 14 people as kind of our range that will be attending, but the first 6 that sign up will get the price for $2,300. I do enjoy couples. So, if you, and then the other population of people I tend to really serve is women that are not really, that want companions to travel with, people to travel with, and so forth. So, it is co-ed. It's kind of set up for everyone.